Okay, cool. All right, so we're doing our Friday training. We're doing a couple things a little different. We're going to start doing noon, and that way it's more lunch. So we'll do our noons every Friday. Every Wednesday we'll have training. It'll either be remote, like it was 2 days ago. It was not in person. I actually did it Tuesday night, put it on GroupMe Wednesday. Last night I just did some random 3 to 6 minute training. So we're always going to have everybody having the tangible training. One thing about this company is I was thinking about this morning. I was listening to a Jocko podcast and talking about tangibles and intangibles, and I really feel like our company is intangible, meaning it's a concept. DHS Realty. What's tangible is our realtors. And Shannon and I were talking about how to mix up the training a little, and I want to start having agents come and talk about their stories on how they're succeeding or failing. And I mean, real estate's up and down. Anybody that is a realtor that tells you that, they've always had success, they're going to be hold on a second. I gotta mute her.
And I think we can bring Article 14 too.
So anyway, so that's what we're gonna do. When we train, we're going to have agents do a lot of them on Fridays. So anyways, a little bit about our speaker today, Lola. She's going to sit over here after she gets her pizza. I met Lola when she was a student. She was at Champions and was always the personality of the class. And you do have to have a good personality in real estate, but at the same time, you have to, and I'll move it to you once we're done. But you also have to be tenacious. And a lot of times we get into the W-2 world and we're not able to be who we want to be. And the neat thing about real estate is that there's no ceiling, there's no floor. You can be who you want to be. And you probably have to adapt a little for different people. But Lola sent me her bio, and after reading it, I was like, it's easier for me to just introduce her as somebody that I know is, in my opinion, I feel like she represents our company. I think that our company is growing with quality agents. Some produce, some don't. That's kind of up to you guys. But one thing that we always are going to have is we're a company of givers. And really, when I thought about who's a great giver to talk at our company, it is Lola, because she's not afraid to give out advice. And I always want things to be run by me at the end of the day. But she's a good representative of our company. So she's going to talk about how she got started. And then at the end, when she's done, we'll do some training on our net sheet for a buyer and a seller, and do like probably 30 minutes of a workshop. So Lola, it's yours. Take it away. And we do have gift cards, and if we don't have 15 people, then we'll find ways to get everybody a gift card today. So
okay. Hi everyone. Hi everyone online. Hi everyone here. I'm gonna sit down so the people online don't see half of my body, and they'll just see my chicken legs. So we're just gonna sit down. So I always ask Doug if I could, contribute to training, because I remember when I first started and all the questions I had, wish I could just, pick someone's brain to get the best answers I was looking for. And Doug has a lot on his plate. So I was like, hey, and anytime if I can do training, I would love to. So here I am. The first thing I want to talk about is safety. Well, let me just say this. I come from a customer service background. I don't mind telling you guys my age. I am a beautiful Black 40-year-old woman. And I started customer service when I was 16. I worked at McDonald's for about a year and a half. Then I worked at the mall. And then I did customer service over the phone. So many different personalities, many issues, many resolutions. But I know one thing that we always focused on was safety first. So I want to just touch on safety a little bit, mainly because I am a woman, and a lot of times we're out here showing houses and we're not being cautious. We're not watching our environment. We're not being observant. I'm a very nosy individual, so I like to look around. I like to pay attention to what's going on. First things first, when you're doing an open house, showing a house, going to preview a house, whether you're with someone or by yourself, never park in the driveway. Always try to park where it's easy for you to get out, just in case something was to happen. If you park in the driveway, it's easy for someone to block you in. So just be careful of that when you're going to do showings. Try to park in the street. Give your client, if you get there before your client, give your client some room to park behind you or beside you. They kind of follow directions. So if they see your car or they see you by your car, they'll try to park behind you instead of in the driveway. If your client does park in the driveway, I would ask them nicely to come out of the driveway and park on the street, just for everyone's safety. When you go in the house, you normally have the key, the Supra, whichever it is, whether it's the Supra, the black box, or just the key. Always try to have the key with you at all times, or have it in a safe location to where you know exactly where it is if you need to go to it. I keep the key on me at all times. Always lock the door behind you when you walk into the house. I don't necessarily follow my clients everywhere. I tell them to look around, open all the doors, turn on all the lights, and then I let them just kind of freestyle and do whatever they want in the house. But just make sure that the doors are locked, and that's just a protection for everyone. When you're leaving, you can have your clients wait for you outside. Make sure all the doors are locked and lock the door behind you, and you're good. So as far as safety, I would say just be careful. If you're like me, I have Realtor on the back of my car. My license is specialized, so I have Fashola on there. So I'm trying to broadcast that I'm a Realtor. So I've been followed home before. Luckily, I was observant to notice that someone was following me. So you guys that are going to get things put on your car for real estate, you know, once you do that, you really want to be cautious and pay attention, especially when you're driving home at night, because people know realtors make money. And that's everyone's goal, is to make money. So even if you're not making it now, you will eventually make it. That's it on safety. Any questions? Hi, welcome.
That's Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
I'm sorry, Terry. Terry, and then
Terry.
Shannon's across from you. Yeah,
Shannon.
Terry's visiting. She's with a different brother. That's Micah, Dave, Shannon, Deborah, Silva.
Well, thanks for visiting. I'm Lola Fashola. Okay, so any questions on safety? All right, okay.
Why don't you mention the 4-1 app?
Okay, so we have a 401 app that Doug pays for. That's one special thing about Doug. He does pay for things to help us. Other brokerages require you to pay for a lot of things. So one thing that Doug pays for is Forewarn. That's FOREWARN. And you can put in someone's phone number, or you can put in their name, and it will pull up their record if they have one. I've pulled up guys that I'm dating. Probably shouldn't do that, but it's a good application. Definitely use it. I don't use it all the time. I probably should, but I'm a pretty good judge of character when I'm listening to you on the phone. I am licensed to carry as well. I do carry my gun on me at all times. And that's just because I am a realtor. Didn't even think about it until I became a realtor. So with that being said, being a real estate agent can be dangerous if you allow it. It's kind of up to you. So just do your due diligence before you go meeting these people outside. Okay, so I'm going to give away a gift card. All right. What do you do? I'm going to give away 2. What do you do when you pull up to a house? Okay, yeah, that's one for you. Next, what'd you say? Okay, can't have the same answer.
Don't park on the driveway.
Don't park in the driveway. Well, that's parking on the street. I need another one. You got one more chance.
Okay, park where it's easy to access the park.
Okay, you get it.
No,
That's
thank
it.
you.
Okay, so now we're going to do, let's do MLS. All right, I am not computer savvy with Doug's computer. So, can y'all see that? Can the people I hope they can see it. Okay, so this is MLS. Now, my biggest question to you is, have you clicked on every button in MLS? No. You have? Okay. So part of the reason why I don't consider myself successful yet, but I do feel like things are moving for me. And part of the reason why is because I'm nosy. Okay. Part of being nosy is clicking on every button that you see. So when I was introduced to MLS, I wanted to know what each icon offered. Some of them I didn't really care too much about, but some of them I was intrigued. Okay. So I would definitely advise you all to take some time and put it in real estate. And I don't mean just going to go show some houses, posting on Facebook, like actually learn the material, not contracts, but other things in the system that can help you be more effective. Okay. So just a few that I use. Of course, I use Matrix. I use RPR, which is kind of like the Truly Title website. If you guys have ever used that, they're kind of similar. I also use Builder Update. It gives you a lot of new builds that are not in MLS. Okay. So if you're looking for, okay, where I need a new community, but my client's not ready to move till 2023. Builder Update is really good because they have a lot of new construction that's not yet in MLS. Just keep in mind, if you send your clients to any new builds, beg them to tell the sales agent your name. Because if you don't, you can lose a sale. I mean, I lost one. I'm getting 1% instead of 3% of 509K. Right.
You can fill out to register your clients.
On Builder Update?
Well, no, just in the MLS paperwork. You send that to the builder before your clients go.
Well, so this is just in case your clients go to a builder you're unaware of, because people do drive around over the weekend and you don't know where they're going. So if they just pop up at DR Horton and say, oh, I want to look at a house. Oh, who sent you? Oh, we're just driving around. So you want to coach your clients that, hey, if you're just driving around, even if I don't send you there, make sure you give them my name. So can you register on here?
It's a sheet that you can send. So, I mean, having it probably on your phone, if your clients are like, I'm going over here, you might want to send it ahead of them.
Okay, so there's not like a specific form. You can
No,
make.
there's a form in the MLS. It's a client registration.
Okay.
You can give that to anybody.
Okay.
I think the best thing to do is to always call. And right now with COVID, a lot of buyers aren't going in person. They're talking first on the phone. And, builders that 18 months ago were doing 6%.
Right.
Are doing
DR
one now.
Horton.
Lennar, yeah, they're doing 1% now. So, yeah, as much as you can, but nothing's going to beat calling them and saying, hey, Terry, my name's Doug Smith. I'm with DHS Realty. She's with DR Horton. Hey, I've got a buyer coming in, Deborah Naley, and you sign her in, and then she walks in, you're protected. I went in the other day with a buyer off of Blah Powell in 75. I mean, I've been working with them for 6 months. As they're registering us in, they look on the computer like, oh, did you come in here a month ago? And I mean, as soon as they said that, I was like, fuck me, And basically he came in, he goes, I didn't do anything. They're like, did you sit down here and did we do anything on the computer? He's like, yeah. Like, yeah, you got signed in. So I wasn't protected. Unfortunately, it was only 1%. It was with Lennar. But I mean, it happened. So with
Check your
COVID,
goals,
with COVID, I'd always do the phone call and an in-person and tell the buyer that, hey, if you call builder without me, be sure to sign me in. And it's just a second layer of protection.
In Virginia, if you don't actually show up with your client, they won't pay you at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Just, Terry's licensed in Virginia also. So, and we have another agent that's licensed in Nevada. So we're getting all over.
I know this summer I kept having to go back to Virginia. I sold 3 homes there this summer.
Oh, man.
Sounds like
That's
a
cool.
fun lifestyle. They're like,
It really is. It's just
No.
like sitting in a crappy hotel room.
Oh.
Your clients make a decision.
Yeah.
With no printer, no.
yeah.
So
Sounds
I also wanted to do like in our meetings or in the Lola training or anyone that does training, I want our training to be a little bit different from Doug's, because when Doug is training, he's on a time schedule. So we don't have the chance to discuss with each other and pick each other's brain, right? So I feel like when I do it, I want us to be able to, not necessarily a training, but more so where we all get together and help each other. Things that I don't know, maybe she knows or you know, and vice versa, brainstorming,
Yeah.
right, okay? So as time progresses, that's what I want us to eventually do, kind of like brainstorming time, where we all just sit together and just bring ideas. So this is Builder Update. I access it from MLS. I've gotten to the point to where I have my own website. So it's Builder Update, lolafashola.builderupdate. And I mean, it's real simple if you go on there and set your information up. So when I send an email to my client, it actually has my picture on there and says, hey, if you need any more information, give Lola Fashola a call. So Doug didn't tell me, I didn't find it online. I was just on the computer playing, and I found out I can do that. So, and just to give you an idea, it's kind of like MLS. I'm not going to spend too much time in this, but let's just say we're looking for a house that's between 400, let's say 400 and above. You just put 400 plus, right? And then let's say you want a 4-bedroom, put a plus. You want a 3-bedroom, put a plus. Now this is just strictly for new builds. And then you could put, I want 3,000 or more square feet, and you put a plus. So everything, and then you would click like somewhere in the middle here. So all it's going to show us is properties, 3,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 400K or more. And it's going to be everywhere. So let's say I wanted to do Prosper. This is Doug's computer, y'all. So don't think I don't know what I'm doing. You see, I brought my Mac, but he already got it set up. Okay, so there's Prosper. So this is going to change from 1,000 and something to now 72. So again, these are just new builds. So this one, we'll just click on this one. This is Highland Homes. I love Highland Homes. And this is to be built. So it's not built yet, right? So let's say you have a client that's like, well, I want a new build and Prosper, but I want to be able to, I want a new community. This is a way to go check that out with your client, because I don't think they've even started on these. But you would not be able to find this in MLS. So if you do a new build and Prosper, this is not going to come up. So this is another place you can go to find new builds for your clients, okay? And then I'm
Nice. So that's Builder Update.
Yes, and it's
One of the
right.
Squares.
I like that you said you can personalize.
It's right here, Doug. Yes, you can personalize it. So again, you can access it from MLS, but it's going, once you do, it's going to tell you to set up a password,
Gotcha.
and then you can actually go to it on your own. And then,
One more thing is.
Yes, sir.
It's in there, it's like an auto email, once you set up the criteria, it will start sending to your client every time that an
Yes.
update or a new bill comes in.
that is correct. So you can set up auto emails just like MLS. You can set up auto emails just like MLS, and they'll get the new builds that are coming. And you can also set up updates for yourself, because I also get updates as well. So I know you guys won't be able to see it online, but this is how it looks if you send an email.
That's nice.
And so all they'll do is just click on the link, and it'll show them all the new houses. Okay.
So no
All
way I'm branding yourself instead of.
So I'm gonna go to MLS, and we're gonna do another question. Okay, so for builderupdate.com, can you set up a criteria for your client? Okay, I heard Deborah's voice first.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, next topic. So now we're in MLS. Doug, do you have anything to add?
Maybe what's the name of the security app?
Forewarn.
Oh, gee.
I like Starbucks, so which actually saved me from a weird situation.
Yeah, actually-
No, sorry.
Yeah, actually Deborah texted me last week or a week before, and she put a guy's phone number in Forewarn, and there's 40 over 40, I think, felony assaults.
Oh, no.
Dating back to
Sexual.
1900 to
Oh,
2008 to 2000. I think the earliest one was just 3 years ago.
I mean, it's
So we cut bait
there's
on
a
that.
lot of stuff.
And just so you know, I mean, not to, but that app costs $120 a year per agent, and I just want to cover that myself. So
Whoa, Doug, that's a lot.
it is a lot because we're at 190 agents. and
Previous-
almost everybody. But again, I want to go to bed at night knowing that y'all have that app.
Didn't we
and
previously pay for it?
You did. And you
And so
paid
that's a
for it.
benefit.
You paid for it a year in advance, and if you left that company, you didn't get a refund.
Oh, you had to pay for it with Mal?
Yes.
I just didn't say that, but
I know what, I wasn't gonna say that, but it's a benefit that Doug provides, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And also too, if your client that you're working with is acting peculiar, we had an agent in Portsmouth get shot by the client inside his
Oh, yeah.
house. And we all knew him because it's a very small community there, so, just nothing's worth, no money's worth.
that's right. I say that
Like,
regularly.
we try to, like, I have a crazy client that I've been sticking with, but the minute they start to like be sketchy, I'm out of there.
Yeah, I actually knew an agent with Remax in Capel that was stabbed 19 times about 20 years ago. She lived. Her name's Joe Malone, but you can Google her. But yeah, showed a guy that used his real ID when he checked in at the office, and he was just crazy. And I've always said that, like, you only get it go once, and if something feels weird, you'll always have your back. You just get in the car and drive off.
And sometimes stick really close to the door.
Yeah.
Like, be careful about going into like further parts of the house that you never know. Someone could be trying to get you to work with them so that they could lure you and make you comfortable so they could hurt you.
But if it's not an empty house and it's a real house with people's stuff in it, do you not feel kind of responsible for all their stuff that might be hidden in the closet or whatever that people go in and
No, that's not our responsibility.
You still have to know your client. I think my biggest thing is know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to make money, but like she said, all money ain't good money.
Yeah.
So you can tell the clients that are serious about buying a home and ones that's just looking for an agent that ain't up to par so they can go in the house and clip something.
And get a buddy and go have them come with you.
Yeah, buddy
Yeah.
system's always great.
It's
Yeah.
hard. It is hard to find a buddy. It is. It really is. Because as much as, I've been in real estate and as much as I do, I've had so many people reach out to me, say, hey, Lola, I want to get with you. But it's the drive. You have to really want to do it.
Well, also too, you can get new people to partner up. That way they learn from each other.
Right.
That's
Someone
almost
that they
impossible
can
to
choose
find somebody.
Absolutely.
to can show them the ropes. So the client doesn't have to feel like they're being bombarded with two
You got it
agents.
done,
It's just
yeah.
like, we're, learning a new such and such, and, so they're shadowing me today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we did a training,
We do that
video?
a lot.
Yeah, sync the
Yeah, we
video.
do that a lot. I mean, I have new agents on the phone when I'm helping on the phone. I'll be like, and I may be talking to a lender. I'll be like, hey, Leah, I'm gonna conference this new agent in just so she can listen in. So, I mean, I do it a lot. I don't know about everyone else, but I will say this, it's not easy for me. I used to think that it was easy to get with a tenured agent and kind of shadow them. It's not. I'm not even a tenured agent. And it's hard for me to meet up with Jaleesa or meet up with Alex or meet up with her because
Or at least
I'm
text
all-
somebody where you're going, like, this is the address I'm going to.
yeah, but even with that, it's still not like an agent is the last person you're thinking about texting. Let's just keep it real.
Well, no,
you're
but
texting
somebody that always let someone know where you're going, because a lot of times we're on 5 appointments a day or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My take on it is you're
She's
basically,
talking about shadowing.
Yeah.
you're responsible for your own safety. And like you're saying, you got to read people and stuff, but get trained in something, get your pepper spray, get a gun, but you need training. Because even if you call the cops, and I'm not saying that's not a good idea to let somebody know where you're at, they're minutes away and things can happen in minutes. You know what I mean? So.
But you could be missing for hours and no one would know that you're not on your appointment.
And that is the reason for showing time. That is the
Yes.
reason for texting the agent and saying, hey, I'm going to this house. Even though you guys, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen some houses that are go and show. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll just do it when I get there. And then I realize like, dang, if something happens, no one will know I'm here. So before I even go in the house, I gotta hurry up and go in the showing time and schedule the appointment just in case. It's not like I don't have my gun on me. It's not like I'm ready to kick somebody in the chin, but just in case, so you always want to let someone know where you're at no matter what. But I was focusing on shadowing. If you can find a buddy that can shadow with you, or you guys can work together, by all means do it. This is my part, because I can't be with every one of y'all when y'all ask me to, so I can come and do it this way.
And the neat thing about our group me is we have, I think, over 300 people now on it. And I don't know time that somebody said, hey, I'm doing open house. I mean, I think you did in Ramona, like you invited like multiple people last week. And, you know, I think it starts from the top. We've always done the trainings about once a month, some open house training. And like I said before some of y'all got here, I think we epitomize a company of givers. And I don't know of any takers. I won't even bring them on. And that's what'll make this company survive well past when I'm gone, is because the spirit of the company is givers. So anytime you know, hey, I'm showing, love to have somebody follow me or be with me. You'll know for sure it's a no if you never put it down. You might not get a response, but I know that I've gone with people to South Oak Cliff to show before they even got on with us active. I mean, they were active, but their MLS hadn't set up yet. And I drove an hour and a half away. I've been at 2 hours to Duncanville or to Soto to go with
An hour down.
Yeah, but I mean, my point is that I'll do it. I'll do it if I'm available. And it doesn't matter where it's at. I mean, I was just using that example, Lucas Reeder. I went with him. Yeah, just put it down and put your cell phone on GroupMe. It's a great venue. Just always put your cell phone after.
Someone's in.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
do wish we could get to the point where we could just, the more experienced people could take someone under their wing and then just keep passing it down. Then when I get experience, I can take you under my wing or something. I wish we could do something
Yeah,
like that. That would be helpful.
yeah. We'll look into it. I mean, you
Maybe
know,
we can start a new group in GroupMe, since we have apartments.
Right.
We can start a new group
I'm
for
easy.
new agents that want to get together, and then they can kind of just figure out how they all want to meet up.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it happens organically a lot anyway, to be honest. And I have agents reach out to me all the time, and I'll go meet with them or go on a showing or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that's really appealing about DHS. That's why we have new agents almost every day, because, you know, I think a lot of them can see that there's opportunity to connect with other people and get in. There's a difference. I interviewed 5 brokers before I interviewed you, and there's a reason why I went with DHS, and I've never looked back. And I think that's how everybody probably is going to wind
Yeah, I mean,
up,
what
you
the
know?
irony is that you know, we're remote, but we got more family as a
We
remote
got more
company
need.
than almost
Yeah.
any brokerage
Yeah.
that has a building. And I mean, it's true when you really think about it.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
interviewed Big Dogs, and he's the guy.
all right, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask a question, and then we're gonna get a gift card. So in MLS, okay, where would you go if you wanted to check your last search? Anyone?
Question.
Recently,
Over here.
very top.
Recent.
Sever was first. And you already got one.
Yeah, let's give everybody
Okay,
one, and
everybody.
then whatever's left over. for
Okay,
your
so we're
questions.
gonna go to recent search. Okay, so the last search was, because I got more questions anyway, Mansfield and Midlothian only. Well, how they gonna get it?
They're good.
Y'all didn't hear that. Okay, so here we have properties in Mansfield and in Midlothian. So I'm going to click on, let's see. Oh, let's go to this one. Okay, so, Carolyn.
Yeah.
What is some of the things that you look at when you look at an MLS?
Typically the square footage, number of beds and bath. I'll scroll down to the notes to see if there are any, what the difference are in there.
Okay, is there anything specific you look for in the notes? Or you're just reading the property?
Just reading the property notes, sometimes I mean, right now, like I've got one, just checking deadlines, make sure none have a deadline.
Okay.
That way we can go and view it, if there's like a 5 o'clock deadline same day.
Okay. Do you want to add? Is
Yeah,
there anything?
Yeah, I always look for the private remarks, because that information was not available anybody in Zillow anywhere, only for the agents. So sometimes that will, you know, good information so that we can pass out to the client.
Okay, so Selva says he looks for he looks at the private remarks because that is not available to the client. It's not available on realtor.com. Nobody can see it but us. So he pays attention to private remarks.
There's
What about
specific
you?
Things I look for.
Hold on, Dave.
I look at the days on the market and the percentage for the BAC.
Okay, so that's good. That's good. So Deborah focuses on days on the market and commission.
Yeah.
What about you, Jim?
Commission.
Commission?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I look to see if it's like any special notes or.
Okay,
any
so
transaction.
you pay attention.
Yes,
You go to where?
transaction.
Okay, so Jaleesa goes up here.
Jalecia.
Jaleesa, sorry. I just call her Jay because it's my accents, sometimes I forget. Okay, so she normally goes to transaction desk, but there's nothing there. Okay, so I'll show you one where we'll know something is there. Come on, Dave, give it to us.
I mean, obviously tax roll is important, but I'm always looking for anything unique to the transaction, like if there's a deed restriction, if they tell you what FHA eligibility is gonna be on it.
So where would
because
you see that, Dave?
A lot of times in private remarks is where you're gonna find that information.
Okay,
Also, sometimes they'll put something like a lease back down in private remarks, or it'll be in the transaction desk, but you should be checking for all those things, because if you don't know, and then you help your client to get all the way up where they want to make an offer, and then it's like, oh crap, you can't move in here for 3 months, like that changes the whole ballgame. So always look out for those things.
okay, what about you, ma'am?
As of late, I've been focusing on days on the market and if there's only multiple offers.
Okay, what about you, ma'am?
Price.
Price, okay. So some of the things
That's
that,
an important one.
How about me?
okay, what about you, Doug? I'm sorry.
Well, I like underneath the picture of the house, the clock.
Doug's still with us.
That keeps properties back to 2003. So if you click on the clock, you'll see the history of that property since 2003. If it'd been on market for 43 days, which I think that one was, or maybe not, but you could basically hypothetically, I've clicked that before and seen every 30 days they're doing a price drop. And then I go, damn, we're about 28 days out from that last 30-day drop. And that's going to be, always good. Everything was great. I think it's also very important to always text the listing agent, even if it shows active in the MLS, even if you get approved on the showing. Hey, Shannon, just want to make sure that 123 Easy Street's still available. Then you go show it. And when the buyer looks at you and says, I want to write an offer, you text again. Hey, Shannon, just want to make sure. I know I texted you last night. Is this property still available? And if they say something like, yeah, God damn, you just text me, just say, hey, I know, just the market's crazy. I just want to make sure. It sucks when you make an offer on a home that's under contract. And of course, the agent wants a backup, which I'm just not a big fan of, because it's like when you go shopping and you act like you might buy a dress or you might not, but then you see somebody eye it, you put it over your shoulder and walk around for an hour. That's exactly what a backup does. And so I'd rather just chart it through an active search. And once it falls back active, it's going to hit your client. And then you have at least you're negotiating from a power of somewhat of a position. So
I got a call from my client just a minute ago. She actually lives in New Jersey. Got her from Op City. Okay. She's moving to Dallas and she favorited a property. Well, the property was listed at $450 and she told me she wanted to go in at $430. And I was like, well, girl, I'm not writing you no offer for no $430. And she was like, well, let's just see if we get it. And I was like, okay, well, I'll show it to you today via video. And so she just texted me and said, hey, the price decreased to $440. And it did. So I just reached out to the agent and I was like, hey, if I knew you were going to decrease the price, I would have put in that offer. He was like, yeah, you actually came to mind. So this is what I want to tell you guys. I did 5 showings before I got here. Okay, I was in Mesquite and I was in Garland. And when we got to one of the houses, guess who pulled up? The inspector. But the house still shows active. Okay, so sometimes agents will tell you it's still active because they want you to take your client, they want you to put in an offer, even though they already have an offer. And they won't change it in MLS. So it's unfortunate that we do have agents that are jinky, but pay attention, you guys. You really have to pay attention. Okay, it's for the sake of you and your client, because that's just a waste of time. So some of the things I pay attention to, as you can see, there's Mud District. At first, I never really paid attention to it until my client just closed. I'm about to close on the house that's in Mud
North?
District. Yeah, well, Forney.
In Aubrey.
Yeah, Forney. And he doesn't really have to pay taxes because he's 100% disabled VA. So that's not a big deal. But if he wasn't, that's a big deal. It's a hard resale home because no one wants to pay mud taxes. Okay. Another thing I look at, this really not a good example. Hold on, ladies and gents.
It's good what she said, knowing that a veteran with full disability gets a waiver. I've had clients like that. It's crazy. Like zero property tax if 100% disabled. And that takes effect the day of closing, whereas most of the time it has to wait to fall off. It's immediate. I mean, there's no escrows, nothing when there's 100% disabled. So whenever you work with a veteran, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you got any kind of disability? Oh yeah, I'm 100%. I mean, you wouldn't even know it sometimes. So it's always worth asking.
Okay, so let's look. So this is the house I have pending right now.
Oh,
And as you can see, it has mud taxes. Another thing I pay attention to, and the reason why is because I have a lender that I really, no shade to Brooks, but I have a lender that I deal with it with guaranteed rate, and she really teaches me a lot. I pay attention to unexempt taxes because a lot of times if the taxes are high, it may really change your client's monthly payment. So if they tell you that their budget is a certain amount and then they like a house that the taxes are 9, 10, 11, 12,000, that might not work in their favor. Another thing I look at is HOA. So if it has the HOA, so this house has a HOA, it has mud, and it also has high taxes. So that's a lot on someone that does pay taxes, okay? So I look at that. What else? I also look at the year built. Now it just happened to me one time. I did a lease and I actually closed on a lease, but right before I did, I noticed that it was built before 1976. So pay attention to the year. I know a lot of times we probably don't even look at the year, but if your client is buying a house that's built before 76, you got some addendums that you got to fill out or needs to be filled out. So you don't want to miss that.
why don't you show them where the attachments are?
The what?
The attachments next to the block,
Oh,
just to make sure.
you mean
So
transaction desk?
sometimes that's blank, and sometimes it has the 3 sheets of paper. If it's blank, what I've templated our contracts is that we have the seller disclosure. So you physically have to uncheck mark 7B1 and mark 7B2 that we don't have the disclosure, give them 3 days. And then, of course, if you don't get the disclosure and you've already got the inspection done and you're with the buyer, I just shut up. Because you get an automatic 7-day right to terminate if your buyer never gets the seller's disclosure. If you already have an inspection, you kind of know current day what's wrong with it. But that also means that when you flip the hat and you're with a seller, that you always want to wait for that disclosure or get it that night. Because if you get an offer without the disclosure, you just gave the buyer a free 7-day right to terminate for no reason or any reason.
So here we have the transaction desk, like Jalicia mentioned. So the 3 things we have here is, looks like, what is this? This I didn't care about because I'd already seen the house, but it has something to do with COVID. I don't. And then this one, Doug had to explain to me because I didn't even know what it meant. But I'm assuming this is because of the mud taxes, right?
No, this one is a weird one. That is, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, but there's another one that just says that you're getting a title policy. Oh no, that's what it is right there. Yeah. Examine. So that's just saying that you're getting a title policy. But then at the bottom, it's saying that if it's in a utility district, that there's a code to look up. So,
so if you get, my point is, if you get something like this and you don't know what it is, reach out to Doug, and just, send him you don't have to call him. Okay. Just send him a picture and say, hey, what is this? And he'll send you a voice. I mean, everything doesn't really need a phone call. I'm just saying. You could text, okay? You could send a picture and text. And then we have the seller's disclosure. This was my first time seeing a seller's disclosure like this. My first listing, I did not give my client this type of seller's
It's the
disclosure.
short one.
So what I did was I sent Doug a screenshot. I was like, hey, is this okay? And he said, yes. I moved on. I like this better.
well, yeah, so it's your call. I mean, that's Trex, it's not promulgated. And then the one that we're accustomed to is our association, Texas Realtors, which used to be called Texas Association Realtors, TAR. I like that one. And that's when I template your forms, that's what goes in.
Because it's more detailed.
It's more detailed. This looks like somebody getting out of high school. It has to write an essay and it's 3 sentences, double space.
Big D if you don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other one is 7 pages. And
It's more detailed.
But either one, like I said, like if I'd like you to use the other one, but you know, again, that it's not something that has to be done. But when you get this on the other side, just you're good. So, and that's what I told her. I was like, yeah, you're good. On this one, it doesn't get an initial on every page, whereas the other one does.
Mhm.
Maybe I know why they select this
Yeah,
form
before
versus
you
the
actually-
association, because the association form is not non-fillable, not PDF fillable.
Yeah, that might be
You
it.
have to do it manually. This
Yeah.
one is online fillable, so easy for a client.
For the clients to fill it out.
Now, let's just say hypothetically, hey, Michelle, let's just say hypothetically that she was going to show this to her client. She could, if she wanted, she could send all those
Right.
to her client before showing it by just hitting the three dots, and it'll give you an email option.
And then you click on the basket. And then you can email
Print.
or download and then send it as an email.
Well, and
Um,
you could make that other one fillable. Instead
Which
of-
one?
Oh, really?
It would be tedious, but if you saved it as a
Yeah.
template, you could do that.
Yeah, but so you
Okay.
put the lines where they have to write it out, put the so they can type
You
it.
could do it. It would be a one-time thing. It might take you a couple of hours, but you'd never have to do it again.
Text boxes.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
okay, and then
okay.
just be
Well,
sending
it's a
it like
template.
that.
Yeah,
Mhm. I mean, that's just an idea.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, so did you save it as a template in DocuSign? Or you saved it as a
Zip
template in
forms.
zip form?
Zip form.
Okay,
Yeah, you need to do that in your own templates, which Doug doesn't always recommend messing with templates.
yeah.
I would
Now,
say-
don't,
As long as
don't.
you know what you're doing,
I would
I'm
say a
fine.
separate copy for yourself.
No, you're
and
fine.
Don't mess up what.
No, I think
he
that's great.
already
That's why we're having these trainings.
Dave, can I follow that with you?
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
Dave will do training next week.
does. Yeah, don't call me for questions. I
Are
rescind
you up
my
till midnight
comments.
taking
You know, good
questions?
leader delegates. So that's
Strike it
great.
from the
You take
record.
I
over
don't
that.
think he up till midnight. I'm up till midnight. Sure, I'm up till 2, 3.
Just so you know, also, while you're right there, where it shows
Where?
the bedrooms, the one or the two means first or second floor. And, you know, it's always good to always talk, in my opinion, it's always good to talk about resale. And we have two big populations
Where are you
buying
seeing?
homes, baby boomers and
You talking
millennials.
about right here, Doug?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So the one is for single story, and obviously if it was a master on the second floor, not that there's anything wrong with it, but I always like to vocalize that I'm not a big fan of that, because you have baby boomers that then probably with hip and knee replacements aren't going to want to traverse the stairs. Also, when you have kids my age, I'm 52 and they're gone, they're upstairs, the AC's off, everything's closed. It's perfect. We can live in our house till we die. But if it was a second floor, and then of course on a single story, it's always nice to have the bedroom split. And you'll know that when you go down a hallway and everything's off that hallway. And, you know, I've worked with parents before and they're like, oh, I love my kids. And I'm like, yeah, I know, because you're a new parent. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you want to stress that because I think that that's what separates agents in our company is resale. And if you've been in anything that I've ever talked, we know about master down, you know, single story split bedrooms. And the big thing that I'm like every time, almost anywhere I'm at, what the backyard sets. If it sets in the west, it's brutal in the summer. And I can tell you that you get 2 or 3 yeses from a client and they'll say, I just never heard that before. You'll get it when you talk about what the backyard faces. You're walking up to the house, talk about watering your foundation when you look in the garage and you either see a sprinkler or you don't. And if you don't, you talk about buying a soaker hose. And if they have a sprinkler, it's perfect to talk about clay. We water our foundation every 3 days in the summer, once a week in the winter. And then about master down is really good for resale. I can't tell how many buyers I've had, oh, I've never heard that before. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's because you're from California and you want the backyard to face west because there's an ocean, you know, but it's brutal here for 5 months out of the year.
Mhm.
That's why people with a backyard facing west, they'll start putting their house on the market right around now
Yeah.
because they'll get that climate where people don't think about it.
All right, so, yeah, my voice changes at times. Just want to let y'all know. So another thing that I found in MLS from just, you know, being nosy is, oh, wait, let's go back to the matrix. Because I have it pulled up twice. Being nosy also helps, especially when you're in the system. So one day I was just playing with MLS and I saw a matrix learning tab and I clicked on it. Okay. Now there's multiple ways you can get to this. So I'm going to X out of that because I actually have it. This is how I have my front page set up. Doug's is different. Doug sets your guys up different. But at the end of the day, you can kind of set it up yourself. Look, I can X out that. I can take that out. You can kind of do your own thing on this page. It just depends on what you use the most. So I have carts on my page because I set up carts for my clients. Even though you see how I have this client, I'm gonna tell y'all about this person right here that I just met on Facebook yesterday. Okay, that's gonna be the golden tea of being here today. I'm gonna tell y'all what to do. But you see how they favorited 18 properties? So what I do is don't judge me, okay? I click on all 18 and I focus on the ones that say 3%. I think they all say 3% though, because that's probably how I have it set up.
Now, you can always get that 100 if you hit that drop down and now hit the rotary.
Yeah, but mine
Oh, you don't
won't
like it?
change. It won't
Hit
change.
set default.
I've done this plenty of times. It'll go right back to 10. I don't know why, but I have it set up at 3%. But I do this so when I talk to them, I'm like, hey, so which properties do you really, really like? Because I can't show you all 18. So pick 3 or 4 that you really like. And then when they pick those, I put it in a cart. Why? Because I don't have to click on the favorites and go through 18 listings and find the 4 that they really like. So those are the reasons for my cart. Now, you don't have to have a cart. I have OCD. So I'm a little extra organized than a lot of people, but you don't have to have a cart. I just have one. I don't know why. Again, this is Doug's computer. So this is my cart, and as you can see, and then I also have a cart for myself, and that is for me to keep track of houses that I have pulled up or seen. I want to know what they're selling for, because it helps me with the next client that wants a house possibly in that neighborhood. I'll be able to tell them, oh, well, you know what? This last house sold for 30,000 more, so we may need to. So I don't save every house, but I do save some houses so I can go back and follow up on them. So you guys can create carts. Hold on, let me go back to auto email. So that's the reason why I create carts. Now, these are currently all the auto emails I have right now. Now, something I always do is I always sort by visit portal. If I see that they have not looked in 2 months or never looked, I delete them. I don't even bother to keep sending them emails because Doug may be the type of person that leaves it in there and doesn't care that the system keeps sending them auto emails, because that client may email them 2 years from now and say, hey, I'm getting emails from you. I want to see this house. I'm just the type that if I don't see no activity, I'll take you out of the system. Okay. So this is the way that I actually go to look. If you go to your auto emails, it actually tells you all the clients that you actually have in auto emails. Now, I'm sorry, I kind of got.
And what'd you do to get them in that order?
So I sorted by portal visit.
Okay, just click on it.
And so the newest one was Aaron and Shanta.
Okay.
They visited at 12:26. So just to give you an idea, you guys, these people are from Facebook, but look at my commission. Do you see that? I have it set at 3%, 3.00%, 3.0, because some agents don't just put 3%. Some will put double zeros, some will put triple zeros. The reason why I know is before I put the percentage, I go ahead and look at the agent full list and I see the highest percentage and then the lowest. So if I see 3%, and I will change it.
Oh, you're saying it affects the houses that you see.
The houses that they
Okay.
get.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so I put it, so I added the field. Now you have to add the
Why don't you
field.
show them how to do that?
Okay.
So below your results tab in a search, there's going to be, for first timers, it'll just say add. If you've ever added anything, it'll have add or remove. So
You want me to
below-
start from
Yeah, go
fresh?
ahead. You do
Okay,
it.
so we're gonna do
So you can do a
residential search. Okay, now I think mine is, I have mine defaulting. Hold
Well,
on.
that's fine. You can.
Oh,
just-
it won't let me re-add it though.
No, but the concept of it, hit
Okay.
add, remove.
Okay.
So she's gonna hit add remove underneath the results tab. And let's say she didn't have it there. on the left at the bottom, would you type in BAC? That's what I usually do.
Yeah, when you type BAC, it won't come up,
Oh,
right?
so you have to do. the
So
buyer.
then you have to say, okay, well, what's the wording for BAC? It's buyer,
And really buyer, you're done if you spell it right.
yeah,
There
buyer,
it is.
and then you add it.
Then you highlight it, you hit add, it moves it over to the right. If she did it right now, all it would do is say it's already been added.
Yeah, it's
Okay, so
already
now
done.
she hits the back button and it's gonna be below the results tab. You can do that for anything that's not on your, of course, you could go to quick or detailed, but I have all kinds of things added below there.
Yeah, there's so many that pop up.
So if I
Yeah.
take this, so let's just do, where are we at? Let's do Plano.
There's food over there and drinks in the bottom, so whatever
But
you
also
need.
too, everything's negotiable. I will actually send the listing agent a sheet telling him that I want to get 3%.
Oh, I ain't that
Just say no.
experienced yet.
I have a question, and
Yes, ma'am.
I'm still kind of a newer agent, but if you only put in 3 and 4 and 3.5%, are you not doing your due diligence though of showing what if your client wants something that's 2% on your side?
So I thought about that, right? And no matter what you send clients, they still go do their own search anyway.
Okay.
Okay. They still go to realtor.com, they still go to Zillow. This is just
And also
Okay,
we have a
too.
buyer rep agreement that's templated 3%.
3%.
Because
So-
as a listing agent, like when I sell land, I'm out rural 2 hours south. And if I don't offer, I feel like then the buyer's agents won't bring people to my land listing because
Possible.
maybe they're salty
I
that.
won't.
you know,
I'm one of those agents.
But what if
that
your client wants it? Your
If
fiduciary
my-
responsibility is
if
to
my
show them what they
client
want, right?
reaches out to me and say, hey, I want to look at this property, and I scroll down and it see 1%, well, it sucks for me. I'm not going to tell them no.
Okay,
I'm going to still show them the property,
Sure.
and I'm not going to charge them the other 2% either.
But
Right.
she does
Even
have
though
it.
it's in my buyer's rep agreement that if I'm getting 3% no matter what.
I just wondered how other people kind of
Call
walk
the
that.
listing agent and see if they're open to negotiating that percentage. If
Yeah.
they want an
I mean,
offer.
you can always ask in our MLS, whatever's in the MLS dictates what you're getting. So if it says 1.5, it's 1.5. You can always ask, you could put in the contract. I template 3% on the broker page. The buyer rep, if you get it signed with a client, that means that it's saying that, hey, I'm going to first try to get the commission from the seller. But paragraph 11B says, but if I don't, it's coming from you, the
Yeah.
buyer. And like Lola, I'm the same way. I've never had a buyer pay unless it was some kind of a particular situation.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I do agree with you, and I have thought about that. Like, dang, what if I take this out? Because I do that. I'll take out all the percentages, and then I'll look at the homes, and I'll see how many.
So I had a for sale by owner, I converted, but they were absolutely adamant. They were not paying over 3% for.
well, that won't even be in
280.
here though.
What?
A for sale by owner. Oh, you mean
No,
you
I
converted it to a
listed their
listing.
property and they said, we're not, if you can't do it for 3%, then I'm not doing it. Well, to me, I'm still a newer agent. 3% of 100 is still better than 0% of 100.
Oh, for sure.
You
I
know,
would
for
have
me
taken
to
it
make.
too.
But the other agent, I still gave the other agent, I offered double so that my clients to a buyer's agent versus me taking 1%. But I had another agent that
Oh,
was
so you
like,
did it
why am I
too?
not getting 3%? Well, I said, look, I'm getting 1%. Like,
Right.
it just,
Well, number one, and all commissions, are negotiable. So, yeah,
Yes.
but that's a conversation you always gotta have. Back
yeah.
when I got licensed, there's a company called 3% Realty, and it was like revolutionary.
But it just made me think, like,
Yeah.
if you're not going to show it to your client because you're not getting a full 3%, then
Yeah,
That
I
kinda
think, I think
sucks.
that's the miscommunication though, is that she's not going to show it. She's
Yeah.
just not going to be the one that provides that lead
That's
to
it.
the.
I'm just not gonna provide them. If you have a listing for 2%, they won't get it from Lola Fashola. But if it's in the same area,
okay.
I guarantee you that they'll find
they're
it.
gonna find
Okay.
it.
They're gonna find it and they're gonna be like, hey, I didn't see this one. And when I get those text messages, I'm like, oh Lord, it's probably 2%. But I still check if it's available. I still call. 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna pick it anyway. Because just as much as you as the listing agent are going to help your seller, us buyer agents are going to help our buyers.
Yes.
So if the seller is not wanting to give the full 3% for me bringing a buyer, I'm going to talk to my buyer like, we need to look at this other house over here. So it doesn't matter if I show them your house or not. I can talk them into getting something else if I really want to.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you for breaking it down.
So when you put the percentage in there, it had like 83, and now this comes up to 138. And honestly, I don't try to stay away from the 2% or the 2.5. It's the 1%.
Yeah.
That I try to stay away from, because I just feel like it's not fair to us. Dallas is big. We drive around a lot.
Yeah.
That 1% home is not the only home
Which
I'm
is
going to
why
show
you
them.
made your listing 2% to the buyer's agent.
Yes.
even
I
though
gave
it was
them
1%
double
to yourself.
versus, and I was the listing agent.
Exactly. Flip
Because
side of the same conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we're driving around showing them multiple
Exactly.
houses, and then they
Yeah.
pick the one that's 1%. You're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so it.
And then have a conversation with your buyers saying, hey, if I have to take 1%.
I'm not
you
doing
can
it.
take it. If we have an agreement, then I
You
can
could,
agree.
yeah.
I don't want
Yeah,
to
you
do
can
that.
only do it for sure.
And they're gonna be like, well, I don't really like that house too much.
Right. But I don't want to do it because I already know they're probably not going to want to do that anyway. So I just put
Gotcha.
that out the way, because a lot of people don't know that buyers don't pay realtors.
Right.
And I try to push that out like every week. Hey,
Mhm.
pick me as your realtor. It's free.
Every post of yours, that's somewhere in there.
It's free because a lot of people don't know. I've had so many, oh, I don't have to pay you anything? No. Okay, so y'all questions?
Nope.
Okay. I'm sorry, we kind of got off track, but
Oh, you're
real
fine.
quick.
That's the whole purpose of it.
So listen, if y'all from Matrix, if you guys go to links, if you scroll down all the way down, okay, there is something at the bottom called, and I just went to it from the front page, but there's something called Matrix Learning Tab. Okay. So these are for the people that don't know Matrix. Like if you, and I mean, Doug likes me because I'm real. Doug told me to be nice. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Doug told me to be nice. But you guys, if it's in the system, there is no reason why Doug or myself or anybody should be getting a text message on how to do something in MLS, because it's in YouTube on Doug's videos. You have a whole program in Matrix, in MLS, that can pretty much teach you every single thing you want to know in MLS.
And the MLS is like, I did their math training, so I should get a quarter off my fees.
Yeah.
Quarter.
So
Nice.
there's a lot of benefits if you just take the time out to do it. I don't think it's fair for the agents who have done it, for some of the agents to call and try to get the answer. Like you have to do the work too, just like we did. Okay. So and once you get familiar with the system, you become more confident. Okay. When your client is calling you, you're like, oh no, man. Oh, okay. You're more confident, but if someone calls you and you're like, I don't know, okay, Doug. Now you gotta wait for Doug to respond. Now your client is waiting for you to respond. And a lot of times the answer is right there. So
Is there a wait?
No.
no, there's not really a wait, but Doug is human, y'all.
Only if you're playing tennis.
Or watching the Cowboy game, or any football game, or watching the dog, or talking to an agent, or bringing an agent on, or trying to tell you. So just want to let you guys know, like, this is here. I would definitely, if you're not a MLS person or a Matrix person, like take some time out, take an hour a day to just do as you can see.
Where's that at again? Show us.
So you go to Matrix. This touchscreen is easy. So from
links.
the beginning, you can either add it to your
Tabs. Oh, okay.
you can add it to your
Oh, okay. It's in there. It's in the additional. That's
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't know
fine,
if
but I know
it does
you can
completely.
drag it. You can drag and
Let's
drop
see.
it. There you go.
Like the classes, they teach you how to do the header, footer, how to customize.
Yeah, they
it.
teach you
You
everything.
put a
So
video of yourself on your stuff to send out to clients.
Yeah, that's what I
They
do.
to go through all these classes. I thought they were gonna be some boring, like, oh my God.
no, it really
And even the realtor classes I've taken, it's about building your business.
Yeah.
Like this lady on one of the realtor classes, that they do, she great ideas for listing packets.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
mean,
told me
the
about
whole
that, yeah.
thing, Like, it was just amazing.
Cool.
I was just like,
Would you share what that was that you watched?
I
Or
did the SRS,
Designation.
certification class through the Realtor Association.
okay.
As a seller representative, you can put all those initials after your name,
Yeah.
look all fancy.
Thank you.
So links, everybody with me?
Yeah.
Links.
It's actually up when y'all first have your MLS. It's just when I clean it up, I minimize it. But what you're doing is pulling, there's an additional tab. All you do is click it,
And you
and
can
any of
drag it
those
over.
little single lines you can drag. And one of them is that, I guess.
Yeah. It is. So again, links is at the bottom. And in links, you can also find zip forms.
Y'all can see zip code right there.
But so links is good at the bottom. Great tool, you guys, great tool. Okay, y'all tired? Y'all want more? Y'all want
We'll
more?
wrap it up. Go closing in 10 minutes.
Closing in 10 minutes? Let me see this.
Sounds good.
Play with it, you can delete.
Yeah, who didn't get a gift card?
Who didn't get a gift card? Who didn't get one? You got one?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
My wife right there.
Who didn't get one?
She
You
did.
got one?
Oh, yeah.
No, go ahead. Everybody gets.
You didn't get one? Carolyn, you got one?
I got one.
Yeah,
Everybody
gets
got one? That's yours then.
Diggy is my favorite.
Okay, so that was just enough gift cards.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, I just want to share a little story with you guys, and then I guess I'm done. Don't forget, you guys, we have back agent. It's really simple. Doug does have someone in the firm that you could pay $200, right?
Yeah, Amanda Riken, she's our transaction coordinator.
She's your,
She's
yeah.
about to get her license. She's done. She just hasn't tested yet, but she'll pass. And when, at that point, she'll be able to do everything. Right now, she can't talk to an agent, but I think Dave used her. You can be a
Use her for
testimony.
every transaction, just because.
Well, I
That's
charge
me.
$100, so, you know. I'm just kidding. So listen, so to me, as far as back agent is concerned, I'm gonna try to log in so I can kind of
Just do
tell you.
DHS.
It'll work that way. So to me, it's another way to track your work. As soon as you get the client and as soon as they go on the contract, can you do mine? Because we don't do yours.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you have a login.
Yeah, of course I have a login.
Oh, I just have mine saved. That's what I was doing
Amanda's
somewhere
never
else.
done my back agent. The
No, I
reason,
have my own login, but I don't know it. It's pre-filled. Let me
go
tell
ahead.
while
You-
you're doing
you
that.
do
So,
that.
but for Micah, so she'll do everything. It's just she can't communicate with the other agent as of yet because she's not licensed. But yeah, she does everything A to Z. And I mean, Dave uses her all the time. I think she has about 20, 30 agents that she does.
Especially when I get really, really busy.
Of course, I teach you how to do it if you want, and it's free.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have it like that. But again, it's when you
It's
get busy, and even
convenience.
for me, I'm just like, oh God, I gotta go and load that. So I do it like at 10 at night, watching a game or something. But she kind of takes that out, if that's what you want. And we'll always have
The way I describe it is she frees me up to sell houses.
Yeah.
And not have to do everything else.
I'm computer savvy. I'm kind of computer savvy. I like to keep track of everything that I do. I want to know what's going on. I don't like people to do my work. If you're the type of person that don't like uploading stuff and keeping track of things that are needed, that's not gonna be for you.
So this is like dot loop, and you have one loop for the house or the listing that you have. Is that what you're
No,
saying?
this
And then
is for you to get paid.
Okay.
So
So
if
it's what Mal had. At the top, you just go ahead and do, well, right there, she's already done it. She hit transactions and then just add a hypothetical one for fund training. You hit add a transaction. It asks you a number of basic questions. Most of the time, it's gonna be that residential. Then it asks you if it's a sale or a lease.
Gotcha.
And then it
Okay.
asks you if you're, I always say from that point, go to pre-closing, the fourth box.
really, I just start.
Oh, that's fine, post start. Well, the reason if you go to the fourth box is it already oranges everything out that you'll ever need to get to your CDA.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So like right now,
So
hit
you-
pre-closing.
Okay. let me see.
Okay, and now make up Daffy Duck as a buyer real quick. But as she puts in, I mean, it's real easy, but right now, like if she's gonna put in a hypothetical buyer, she's gonna hit add, she's gonna select a property, or it'll just say create a transaction. I think you have to put in a few things, just put in d@d.com or something.
No, you could click on no email and just
Okay.
do the phone.
All right, so then it says create a new transaction. Once she does that, you're gonna see 4 orange boxes. And you're done. All you have to do is go left to right and gray out those orange boxes. Once you
That's why
gray
you
out
do
those
that.
orange boxes, the submit button goes yellow. You hit submit, it goes right into a CDA. it already have your price. You just say what your commission is. It automatically takes the 225 out. You get the difference. We table fund. Boom, you're done. So if
Oh,
you
good,
always hit that
good.
fourth box on a lease, it's pre-move-in, and on a sale, it's pre-closing. If you hit that fourth box, just skip start, pre-showing, showing, it'll automatically, and then you just go left to right, and you've got to gray out that orange box. So when you hit set property, it'll pull it from the MLS if it's listed. So you can hit search MLS and then put in your property that you have, because you really just have to put in the street number and probably about 6 words. And just then if you hit search, it should pull it up in the MLS. So then she hits select listing, and that now goes, when she hits separate, that'll go gray.
The property
property
one.
tab.
Yeah,
Oh, I
see,
see.
and then you go to the next box, and you don't have to do them all because it's gonna take a
I'm
while.
not, but
But-
yeah, you
But
got
my point
contact.
is that once that last orange box is done, that submit button goes yellow. You click on it and it's like boom, 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 and then I get it, okay it, and then I send a CDA to
see-
you and the title company.
But see, Doug taking this, like, it's cool that Amanda does it, and I'm pretty sure when I start making a lot of money, I'll just be like, girl, do it. But to me, it helped me learn what's
Yeah, for sure.
important in a transaction, because it asks you those questions. And if you forget, you have to go back to the client, right? So if Amanda's doing it and she realizes she doesn't have it, now she has to reach out to you. Then you have to reach out to your client. Whereas you could just check it every day, or check it when you actually have a transaction that's close to closing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, what I recommend is, I mean, when you get the IBS and the buyer rep, go ahead and start a file.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll always be
It's
where
practice.
it will still, it'll always be there when you go to transactions. It just won't be submitted. But you can load your IBS, your buyer rep, you know, and let's say I'm working with Terry and she's not buying for 6 months. Just for 6 months, I'm going to have her in transactions with an IBS and a buyer rep. I'm going to have 3 of those orange boxes, always orange, until we go into contract. But that way I'm not going back 8 months in my emails going, damn it, I know I sent her an IBS and a buyer rep. So it's your call. I've got agents that do it the day of closing. I'm easy, so I'm not, it doesn't bother me, but
Yeah.
you know,
I probably do it. So I have a closing in 2 weeks, and I already submitted a CDA to Doug like 2 days ago, because I got clear to close. So when I get a clear to close, I know that we're good. So I'll send my CDA to him, but that's already done. It's not hard, but if you don't want to do a lot of the work, then yeah, Amanda is the person to go to, but I charge 150.
all right, for the last 3 minutes, go to,
We'll
just
talk every
go to
5
people.
minutes now.
So, real quick, guys, so, you know, part of my onboarding is I put everybody in here the moment you're with us. So let's say we have Shannon just joined us and you were trying to find her, you got a referral down at College Station. You just go SHA. You don't even have to know how to spell and hit find.
Well, you can't put CHA.
Well, you hit the wrong button.
I did. I just hit enter. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Hit people.
Oops.
Don't hit me.
Okay, there you go. Now hit search.
Oh, I
Find.
hit
Yeah,
send
find.
message. Oops.
Okay, so you got everybody that's got SHA. And so that's kind of cool. It's dummy proof. And, you know, I'll get you back the person. It's not a big deal. My previous brokers would say things like, go to back agent. And I was like, give me a break. Just tell me real quick. So I'm never going to be like that. If you ask me where somebody's phone number is, I do it like while I mean, it's just second nature. I
I've
go boom,
actually
boom.
put
And
people's cell phones.
yeah, and it's fine. I don't care. But that's how you could always do it if you wanted. Okay. The last thing, Lola, and then we'll be done at the top. Go next to people and hit office,
Mhm.
or then you can finish up. But I just want to show people over
Go
here.
ahead.
Office right next to people. Okay. Once you hit office, if you hit documents, which will be right below it, then you're going to have quick links, quick resources. If you click that, there's 40. Hit that little quick resources there. And then if you scroll down, you'll have an open house sign-in sheet, our W-9,
Oh, that's where you sent for the
referral
logo.
form. Yeah. And y'all have access to all that. So you can use whatever you want as a logo. I don't require anything,
Oh, that's
but you'll have
popular.
anything that you can use.
Oh, that's cute. Well, we
Yeah,
don't
no,
want the one
I
that
know,
says
but that's just
Douglas.
that one when I was starting the company, but there's other ones that don't have that. But anyway, I just put everything up there. So I don't have anything that is private. Again, some of them down don't have all that, but you just keep going down.
Doug, you know, they all got your name
Oh,
on
see,
it.
there you go. So they don't.
Uh-huh.
All right, what do you have to?
Okay, so in closing, I just wanted to share with you guys, and I really thought about telling you guys this because this is how I made easy money. But you know, like Doug said, we're givers, right? So there's a Facebook group called First Time Home Buyers. I post in the group sometimes I comment. It almost got me in trouble 2 days ago because somebody didn't like my comment and reached out to Doug. But you know, people are intimidated by you.
But who fought for you?
Doug did, you know, and it honestly made me really down for a second because I was just really giving my opinion and someone kind of attacked me, but she didn't know this mouth, right? So I gave it back to her and she went to go tell. Okay, but Doug was just like, hey, just relax, you know, chill out. So I took his advice, and I'm not gonna lie, I was down for the rest of the day because I was like, damn, no matter how much you try, somebody's gonna try to knock you down. So a couple days later, I went back into the group and I saw this post that said, we're moving to Texas. I don't know where to start. So by the time I went to the thread, I saw like maybe 15 comments in there. I was like, well, what the hell? I'm just gonna throw my yellow Lola Fashola. I'm right here. And so I also sent her, she had mentioned that she wanted to move to new townhomes. And I was like, hey, I sent her a video of a townhome that I had recorded in my, yeah. And I said, hey, they're still available. You know, I would really love to help you. After I did that, I went to her DM, sent her another long ass message and just said, hey, you know, even if I'm not the best agent for you, if you need assistance, please reach out to me. Next morning, me and my husband talked about it, and we would love to work with you. They've already filled out the application. They were approved for 450 and started.
Nice.
So not bad.
Congratulations.
That's
I
right.
guess, you know, in a sense, you know, it's like, don't give up. Like,
But you
just because
you provided her value multiple times, whereas most realtors will just
they
say
just
my
post it.
name.
Yeah.
But you gave her like the video and everything.
And
That's
yeah, so
awesome.
and that could be the reason why, because I
like
did
some-
that, and then I went to her DM and did some more.
Yeah.
So you
Live in
know,
abundance.
just don't
Yeah.
give up. Reach out to people. Go to these Facebook groups, Dallas Realtor, open houses, DFW. You'll be surprised just leaving a comment. Somebody may be like, hey, let me reach out to her. So that was just the biggest thing for me. I was surprised that it happened, but it happened. One more thing.
Oh, you're good.
Op City, you guys. I brought this so I could show y'all. Okay, Op City. These are my somewhat interested clients. Matter of fact, I printed this. So this is like a little printout I did, right? And it has their name, email, and phone number. Okay. These are the serious buyers. So I have their name, how much they want to find a house for, email address, yada, 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 right? All these clients, I've emailed them Ryan from Hometown Lender, and I emailed them Leah, this lady at Guaranteed Rate. So I've either texted them or emailed them the lender's link, right? Still wasn't getting nothing back. So what did I do? I sent Leah and Ryan this email. And next to it has, hey, Leah, I sent them to you. Hey, Ryan, Leah, I provided both of your loan application links. Leah, reach out to this person. Okay, this Op City. I don't know if they're serious or not, but I think they're serious.
How many op cities have you done? So we'll know.
So I've sold 4 leases. I've closed on 4 leases, and I'm about to close on the house. Now, mind you, I'm not on it like I was when Doug sent it out in July. I was on it like that, and I'm not gonna lie, my first month and a half, I did 4 leases, and they were easy. One, I didn't even go to the house. The lady went on her own because it was a self-tour. So these are all the people that have been through my Op City. Okay, y'all can see this, the email. I put a little note in front, but they're not serious. But I don't throw them away either, because they may reach out to me. So I said that to say Op City, they may be some bullshit leads sometimes, but there are some good leads on there. You just have to like really talk to them, let them know like I'm here to help you.
So Lola, what's the advantage of you printing out the Op City lead opposed to just using the app? Like, how does that help you with your work?
Because if someone called me right now, just say, what's your name? Okay, last name. And then I just look at, 9 times out of 10, I already have a house that they've looked at or something. It's just that they haven't reached back out to me, or they haven't filled out something that I sent. So I put them in the blue folder. But if yeah, the blue folder. Because they're giving me the blues. But if I send them something, and I get it back, they go in the orange folder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it just lets me know, like, it helps me keep track. I can't keep track of it via electronically. So through folder, even if I pull up their name, I'll be like, oh, they're in the blue folder. And then I'll listen to them. I don't work as hard for the people in the blue folder than I would. Like, if she called me, I'll be like, I'll be back, y'all. And I'll go talk because they're in the orange folder. I know that 9 times out of 10, they're serious.
I would like to do a day in the life of Lola Fashola.
Yeah.
Like a day in your life. I'm from the insurance side, so it would be good to see that, you know?
Well,
I tell
maybe
you-
Doug can set something up for, I don't know.
For what?
I don't know.
I'll do whatever. I'm easy. I'll tell you, Lola, I mean, she got a buyer off of putting her card on a donut shop. Just going around.
My first transaction was a military guy. He found my business card in the DeSoto donut shop. That was when I first got my license. I was excited.
I went with her on the listing.
He went with me. He was at the listing before me. It was my first one, and I never thought that my first transaction would be a listing, and it was a nice listing.
And he bought a $600,000 house when he sold that.
Wow.
And he
My
gave her
only-
$500 cash at closing.
Yeah, but I should have got more girl because I
She wanted
was.
She did, $100 bills.
How long have you been
As a
agent,
gift.
Lola?
I made a year in September.
That's really inspiring, like, because I haven't even done half of what you've done yet.
Oh,
And I'm a 2-year agent, so that's really awesome.
I have depressing moments. Sometimes I'm in the bed 2-3 days. Can we still
That
record?
sells for you though.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll probably kill it.
Bye, Carol.
Hi, Carolyn.
You know, because we all have light personality, most of us are type A,